I don't drink, I don't do drugs. This is my addiction. Hey Meat Fam, welcome back to my channel. My name is JC and today we are addressing my shopping addiction. If you're new here, I normally make content about chronic illness, very specifically SIRS or chronic inflammatory response syndrome, and eating a carnivore diet. But through that chronic illness journey, I am now at a point where I've healed to a point that I'm ready to stop just surviving and start addressing the things to help make me a thriving, self-actualized human being. In this process of chronic illness, a couple things have happened. One, I've accumulated a lot of credit card debt. Medical bills are expensive and I wasn't able to work as much as I thought I should be able to like catch up with my spending habits. And two, I've discovered that I use shopping as a coping mechanism, both in terms of like the actual shopping, like hunting, finding, and trying to buy a better life for myself. If anything feels uncomfortable, instead of like actually addressing the issues that are causing those problems in my life, I try and buy myself out of it, which is not good. I'm already finding this video really difficult to film. This is like the thing I would rather literally hide in my closet and not share with the world, that I am a flawed human being with an addiction and a problem, clearly. But I think I need to show this both for myself and to like hold myself accountable and have a little bit of like public flagellation for this, because it is embarrassing and it is something that I do keep hidden, which tells me that it is wrong. So a couple of weeks ago, I was in a lot of emotional distress and I caught myself shopping a lot. And this is something that's kind of been brewing in the back of my mind for a little while, that I have a problem with this. And so there were multiple times I added to cart and then removed from cart, and I didn't hit the purchase button, but eventually it hit a breaking point and I just wanted like some emotional relief from all of the feelings that I was feeling. And so I hit purchase. Now, typically my cycle is I'll purchase and then I'll return a bunch of stuff, like, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like if you need stuff, and I'll get to that in a second, and you buy it and you don't like it and you return it, that's fine. But like not to this extent, and not the kind of things that I bought. A little more context, I moved accidentally from Florida to Colorado with just the stuff in a suitcase. So I have needed clothes for like the last 9 months. And I just got to a point where I was really tired of being frustrated with that situation. For example, I traveled to Las Vegas and I only had a pair of shorts, so I needed to buy shorts. But with that order, like that justification of like, oh, I need clothes, I'm going to do this, I also bought into my fantasy self. So this video is me going through the things that I bought and addressing whether it's something I actually need and would support my current self and the person I want to actually be, or if these were fantasy purchases that are just unrealistic, things I'm never going to use, and that they need to go back. And I think talking about this, you're going to be like, oh, this is totally normal, like people buy things and they return things. But I think when you see the sheer volume of it, you're going to be like, whoa, because I find it really difficult to sit here surrounded by these things. I don't like this about myself. This is something I really want to work on and improve about myself. I clearly understand that there's a huge emotional piece to this that I need to address. I'm like, this is not an okay coping mechanism, and it hurts me and it makes me sad, and I get frustrated by having to do the returns process. And it's a lot of time and money that I'm wasting on ultimately nothing. I think that's all I need to say before getting into this video. So to start, this is another thing I don't love. I ordered from a fast fashion brand, Shein. That's not my favorite thing to do. I used to have a beautiful wardrobe that I had collected over years that was mostly secondhand, and I loved that wardrobe, but I left it behind in Florida, part of my chronic illness journey. Check out my other videos if you're interested. But today I just want to go through the stuff that I got from Shein and also Amazon. And we're going to take out each thing and talk about whether it was a fantasy buy or if it was something that I actually will use and love and is applicable to my actual lifestyle. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So a couple of things right off the bat. I did unbox some of this stuff already. I got this ring, which I actually like and will use. It kind of goes with my other moon ring, and then this pearl ring as well, which is a little too big for me. I don't know that I would keep it. It's not returnable, so I am keeping it. I might donate it. But I got those too. And then I also got this ear cuff. It's a little moon shape. I'm kind of going for a like celestial, ethereal theme in my life. I think you're gonna notice that in this really overwhelming haul. I also got this glass cup with a glass straw. I'm actually excited about this one, not gonna lie. Next is a pair of shoes, and I wanted work flats because sometimes I do have to travel for work and I don't really have any professional flats. I have like a pair of white sneakers, a pair of sandals, and a pair of combat boots that I brought with me from Florida to Colorado. But I got these flats and they had a bunch of sparklies on the toes. I did try them on. They don't fit super great, and I feel like the sparkly toes are like it's too weighted towards the front of my foot, so they don't look good. This would have been an actual JC buy. It's just not exactly what I want. So I'm gonna send these back. Next, we have a pair of nude heels, which quite honestly, I probably would wear for work. If I do travel for work, it's like for a conference, so I wouldn't necessarily be in a situation in which I needed heels. I work from home. I don't have a social life. I'm not going to wear these ever. But these were actually a really cool chronic illness win for me. I have an autoimmune condition called ankylosing spondylitis. For a really long time, I was walking with a cane. Before I left Florida, I tried like my heels that I had there, and I just couldn't walk in them. But I did try these on and I could walk in them. So even though I'm not keeping them, it was like an emotional moment for me to be able to walk in them. But these are going back. Next is a pair of shorts from Amazon. They're just these blue chinos, and these I would totally keep, except they don't really fit. That's another thing that's kind of going on in my life. My weight has fluctuated so much in the past 2 years. I did carnivore, lost a bunch of weight. Then I did a bikini competition, lost a bunch of weight for that. Then I was chronically ill, didn't move a lot, gained a bunch of weight. And now I'm kind of like losing weight again. So I'm in this weird place of like needing clothes, but not wanting to buy a lot of clothes because I don't think I'm gonna be this size long term. I think I know my settling point based on the first time I went carnivore, and it's about 10 to 20 pounds less than I am now, which is pretty significant actually. I have another pair of Amazon shorts. These are just white shorts. I don't know how I feel about the back pockets. Does anyone else feel like the back pockets on things have been like higher and wider? I don't know, it just makes my butt look big, but they're very comfy, so I might actually keep those. And then I got the same ones, but blue. They actually fit quite well. They're comfortable. So these are like actual real life JC going into summer makes sense purchases. All three of those shorts make sense to me. I feel like I haven't gotten into a lot of the fantasy stuff yet, so you're bearing the lead. I agree. Get to the point, JC. All right, here's some fantasy stuff. These shoes. So I love heels and I just don't wear them. I don't have any situation in which to wear them. So even though I aesthetically like these shoes and they're comfortable, and in my fantasy life where I actually like have a social life and go places in the summer, I would very likely keep these. I just don't think I can justify it because I don't know when I would wear them. Again, I work from home and I don't really go anywhere. Fantasy buy. And now we have the like biggest fantasy purchase of this whole thing, and quite honestly, like if I could figure out a way to justify these, I would keep them because they're excellent. But I'm not a leopard stripper, and so I'm not sure when I would ever wear these. I love them with my entire heart. If I were a shoe, I would be these. However, I'm literally never gonna wear these. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the shopping addiction of like, who am I? Who do I think I am? It's not like this is art and I can put it on a shelf and just appreciate it for what it is, although I kind of maybe would. But they just don't fit my lifestyle, and they don't serve any purpose other than contributing to my debt and the amount of stuff I have to take care of in my life. And even though I want the life in which I would wear these shoes, I'm just so far from that right now, or ever. Like, quite honestly, like, what is the occasion in which you would wear these? That I just don't, they're not appropriate. They're not appropriate, and this is my problem. I think one of the weirdest parts for me is like, even though like I order stuff and I return it, and I do this every time, and I know when I'm ordering it I'm likely to return it, I still feel sad letting go of these shoes. And I think it's like me letting go of the dream of being the person who would wear these. I don't know. I find it fascinating, and I might get kind of introspective about this because I am still like dealing with this and actively exploring it, and just now admitting very publicly I have this problem. And so I'm very much a work in progress, and I'm so sorry I don't have like better takeaways in this video. I'm just assuming it's going to be me being like, I'm sad I'm not getting the stripper leopard shoes. I hope this is helpful to someone. I don't know. So now we're getting into the Shein stuff, and this is where it's going to start getting really overwhelming really quick. I got this cowboy hat, which came very misshapen, but also I don't think I'm a cowboy hat person. It's not really practical as a sun hat. I mean, it has all the holes in it. I feel like this is a fantasy buy. Some of the accessories at Shein, I'm not sure that I can return, so I might end up keeping them, donating them. I'm not quite sure yet. This is also part of the problem. I just end up like buying stuff and then having to return it or not be able to return it. This actually like probably will keep. It'll come in handy this summer. And it's leopard. Next, I got some dividers for my underwear drawer. Really exciting. But right now, like everything is mixed together and I want to separate my socks and my underwear. So this was actually a practical purchase. I got this bag, which I actually don't dislike. My big like black tote that I normally travel with is getting kind of scrappy, and I wanted a lighter bag option. And I love like giant tote bags. It's very much a me thing. A couple of things. One, it doesn't have like a shoulder strap, so I would have to carry it like this all the time. It does have enough space to fit my laptop though. I'm probably going to keep this, and quite honestly it's probably going to be very handy for me. And then I did get a bag insert so I can organize things in the bag, because inside this bag is just like a big empty nothing burger. So these things will come in handy and I will use them, and I don't regret these purchases. Probably not the best time for me to be buying them, but I know I'll use them, so I don't feel as bad about that as I do like the cowboy hat that I'm never gonna wear. Getting into some sunglasses. These I know can't go back, and I remember a couple years ago I tried on round sunglasses and they looked really good on me, but now that I'm seeing them on me, like I don't know if they're just a different shape of round than I tried before, but I'm not sure that they suit me. But instead of just, you know, getting one and trying it, I got three. So I got blue, pink, and a brown pair as well, and I think the brown pair is maybe worse than the blue. Yeah, I don't know that round suits me. Why didn't I just get one pair and try it? This is another thing I've noticed with like having a shopping issue, is like I'll get something and I'll like it, and then I'll be like, oh, this is perfect, let me get more. Like, no, the first thing was perfect, and I hardly ever like the second thing as much as I like the first. I have another pair of sunglasses, which I actually do like and would keep. They feel really sturdy for what they are, and I love the shape. I love that they're kind of funny, and I definitely see myself wearing these at the pool this summer. I've also noticed that I've been like leaning towards repurchasing stuff that I had when in Florida that I didn't bring with me and I miss. An example would be this. I used to have a pearl headband and I just wanted to replace it. So even though like I technically own it, I don't have access to it, and so I find myself wanting to purchase those things I really loved again because I can't have them anymore, but I knew I liked them. Next, I got a pool bag. I didn't need to get this, quite honestly. Like, I have like little shopper bags I could have used. I also got an extra tassel for it. Like, that just feels really unnecessary. I don't like these things though. Probably take those off. I just feel like I do this. I just feel like I'm whether I go to the pool with like a little canvas bag with my towel or this straw bag, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And this represents money I could have put towards my debt or could have put more towards my chronic illness treatment. And I think that's the part that makes this really hard, is like I do enjoy this as a creative outlet and as self-expression, and I did need clothes. But also, I'm not in a position to be buying these things right now. And that is like a real struggle that I have. And I think it's kind of like when you have a food addiction. Like, you can't avoid food for forever. I can't not buy clothes forever. and I just don't know what managing this moving forward looks like. I got a leopard scarf, which again is something I know I will use and like, and this is actually a really good one because it could be used for like wintry things, or it could be used as like a tie for summery things. I don't regret this necessarily. It's just, again, it's like there's that line between what you need and what you want and what you can afford and what you can handle, and I just don't feel like I am respecting that line in my life right now. Another pair of sunglasses. I've never had sunglasses in this shape before, and so I was really interested to see how they looked on me, if I liked them, and I'm still on the fence about them. Again, Shein sunglasses can't go back, and so keeping them. Verdict is out on that one. You guys can let me know what you think about the different sunglasses shapes in the comments down below. I got a belt. I don't have any belts here, so it's probably good that I have a belt. This one will do. Another super practical purchase. Every time I travel, I used to have like a little case for my razors that would just cover the head, and I don't know if I left that in Florida or if I just can't find it or left it somewhere when I was traveling, but I got a little razor case, and I don't regret this. I feel like spending $2 one time is better than using a Ziploc bag every time I travel, which is what I have been doing, and then I get grossed out because my razor was in there and kind of wet, so I end up throwing out the bag. Like, over a 10-year time span, this is going to be a lot cheaper than doing that. I got pins. Like, these are little pins that you can use to cinch in waistbands, which I thought would be helpful if, when I do end up losing weight for the stuff that I purchased, I can kind of cinch in the waist with these and have it be kind of decorative and stylish. I don't necessarily regret these again, but is it buying into my fantasy self if I haven't lost that weight yet? I don't know. What do you think? I got a bunch of nails, and these are actually a really practical purchase for me. I do my nails every week or two, and I just got 5 of the same one that I know I love. That was a super practical purchase on my part. Next is another bag, and I was looking for a bag because the one that I brought with me is just a crossbody. So I have the crossbody I brought from Florida, and then I also have a tote bag that I brought from Florida. And I wanted a lighter colored bag because my wardrobe has been moving in a lighter direction, and I wanted something that was a little bit bigger than the crossbody I currently have so I could fit my camera in here, and this will do. I don't know that I love it, or that if I saw the shape in person I would have chosen this one, but it will work. And as we mentioned, the return process is kind of stressful, so I'm going to keep that one. That's the other thing, is like, instead of actually buying something I know I love, I just buy something to like fill that emotional void, but because I don't love it, I then don't want to keep it, so I end up buying another thing that's very similar. I'm just going to keep noticing things about my shopping addiction and like my thought patterns and the like negative cycle along the way. Like I said, this is very much self-discovery for me as well. So we'll kind of see where this goes. The last thing I got was a dress, and it's just like a white summery kind of poofy bottom dress. I won't know whether or not I want to keep this until I try it on. I did try on all the other Shein stuff that I got last night. I'll talk about those when I get to that box, but this I'm going to go ahead and try on and let you know what I think. Okay, that dress was actually quite cute, however, too big, so it's going back. And I took the opportunity to change into pajamas because I was getting a little hot. Alright, so that was the first box. Now I'm going to show you what I got and kind of went through yesterday. First, I'm going to go through the stuff that I am keeping because I think it's really going to put into perspective how big this order was and how little of it is actually stuff I will use. But I'm keeping these sandals. These are actually my first ever pair of square-toed shoes. I don't know how I feel about that, but I love the leopard print, and I know that I'm going to use these by the pool this summer, so super excited for these. Goodbye. The next thing I got and will be keeping is this blazer. It is just a white colored kind of tweed with double-breasted blazer. It's not lined, and it came kind of crumply, so it's hard to really tell the shape. But I know that when I iron this is going to look really good, and it's going to be a really versatile piece for summer and work travel, so this was okay. Next up is this shirt, and this is just a kind of white sort of cropped blouse with this kind of blue print on it. It's kind of Western. I don't know, I really liked it. I was really drawn to it, and I tried it on and I really liked it. I know I'm going to wear it this summer, so that one was okay. When I say it's okay, I mean like that was me buying something I actually need and will use, and I don't feel bad about, because I know that it's going to serve purpose in my life, worth what I paid for it. Again, not necessarily something I should have been purchasing right now, but definitely something that I do and will love. So I don't feel the immense amount of guilt that I feel for like those leopard platform shoes. Next are these trousers, and these are just blue kind of taper leg trousers. I know I'll use them for work, so that was an okay buy. And then the last thing here are these leopard shorts, and they're just like knit cotton shorts. I know I will wear these a ton for pajamas, for lounging around the house, for work attire during the summer. I work from home, and so people just see me from, you know, stomach up on Zoom, so I can get away with stuff like that. But now let's talk about all the things that came in the order that I will not be keeping, and maybe were not the most practical things for me to purchase. Now, some of these will be like practical in the sense that I thought I might use them, or I thought, you know, they would be applicable to my life. First are these shorts, which I actually really like, and they feel really nice, but they're a little too big, so I'm not going to keep these. So those would have been okay, except too big. Are the same as the blue trousers, but they're in kind of a cream color, and the problem with these is that they are see-through, like impossibly see-through, not like wear nude underwear see-through, like see-through. So again, some of these would have been okay. It's just like the amount that I ordered and the like, I don't know. I know that Shein isn't good. Like every time I buy from them, I keep like 3 things. I need to stop. Next is this kind of cream colored midi dress. It has a neckline that I know is not flattering on me. It's kind of like this drapey thing, and I just don't have the shoulders or something. I don't know why this does not look good on my body type, but it doesn't. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm wondering if I flipped it, if I would like that better. Maybe. It's also kind of long, and it's not really a work buy, so it's like, I don't know. The fantasy of JC being a Disney princess buy. Next is this smock dress, which I actually kind of like. It's just a big blue smock dress. The problem is it's kind of big, and also Shein stuff is so junky, and I think they sell you this fantasy with the models that actually look like the clothes fit them, or that they aren't as, the clothing isn't as junky as it really is. Oh, this is a weird one. Oh no, this is a bikini. It just didn't fit me well. I mean, it's not, there's nothing really wrong with it, and it's not a fantasy buy because I do need a swimsuit for by the pool this summer. I feel like a lot of this was not as fantasy as I thought it was, but in a way it is, because like the dresses I knew I didn't need, and I wouldn't really have anywhere to wear. What I really needed was like a swimsuit, a hat, a pair of sandals, and some shorts, and I just kept going. This is a sweater, and it's like a set, so that goes there, and then this kind of goes over, so you end up with like this kind of asymmetrical look to it. I feel like this is the worst example of this. It is kind of yellow though. And here's what I want to say about this is I very diligently look at reviews, and then sometimes I just choose not to believe the reviews because I want it to be different. So the person who was like, this is kind of yellow, more yellow than it looks in the pictures, I was like, yeah, they're wrong. It's not that yellow. Fantasy JC wants the ivory version of that. Okay, next is this blouse, and it's a white tie neck blouse, and it's just, it would be fine for work. It's just super cheap, and I think that's what I'm realizing about Shein specifically is like, I just want it to be better than it is. And I know it's not good because this is not the first time I've done this. Like, quite honestly, you guys, there have been periods of my life where I've done this monthly. There have been periods of my life where I haven't done this in like 6 or 9 months period. And then I just like crack and I do it in a big freaking way. I don't know how to stop, but I think addressing it is probably the first step. Next, I got this leopard bag, which I actually do like. I just wish it was a little less orange. So I'm not going to keep this. I also have a crossbody bag that's about the same size and serves the same purpose. Next is this blouse, which I actually didn't dislike. It has this cool like pleated detail on the cuff. It's just a little big, a little less quality than I want it to be, which is like, this is the ridiculous part, is like, I know it's bad and I know they are cheap clothes, and yet every time I think it's going to be different, and it never is. This is what makes it addiction-y though, I guess. Now I have a satin shirred cami top, which actually I would have liked to wear as a bralette, but the smocking on the back looks really weird. Then I got a pair of slippers, which is ridiculous because I actually love my slippers. These are the Fireside by Deer Foams. They were like 40 bucks on Amazon, and they've been so comfy this winter. This is like my preferred slipper format, the mule style with open back. And I didn't need these. I'm emotionally overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that's surrounding me right now. And even though like I buy it with the intention of returning it, it stresses me out to have to return it. And then I have like this fear that what if it gets lost in transit? And then I don't have the stuff and I don't get my money back. And I feel like the more stuff I have, the more anxiety I have. And I know I have a lot of trauma around this because twice in the past 3 years, I have like lost a lot of my possessions. I moved across country in a car, and so I left a lot of things behind and got rid of things that time when I moved. And then when I accidentally moved, I just came with what I could fit in 2 suitcases. So it scares me to have things too, because I just think like, well, what if I make a big move again? Am I really going to move these things, or am I going to lose everything again? And I think that's part of where the shopping addiction comes from, is like this scarcity mindset of wanting to have things, or wanting to have the things I used to have, the things I loved and the things I had collected over time, and being separated from that. But also as like a person who really likes to think about myself and my role in the world, it's like, I am not the sum of my possessions, and my possessions don't actually, like, beyond functionality, they don't really contribute to the person that I am or what I can bring to the world. And so this specifically is like the most vain thing about me that I hate the most. And I'm sorry if anyone finds this like really flippant and narcissistic that I have this problem. I would also like to not have this problem. Okay, I needed that emotional break from just like pulling stuff out of nowhere. Next is this pair of wide leg pants, which I actually didn't dislike, but they're way too big. And you're gonna see one more outfit change for me because I actually have another box of stuff coming, and I'm committed to also showing that stuff to you. And those I bought 2 sizes smaller than these, so I think those are gonna be too small. And it's just mindless. I'm just mindlessly shopping, not looking at sizes. Next are these shorts, which actually weren't bad. They just weren't great. I'm a pretty picky person when it comes to fit and how things look on my body. And so the fact that I keep buying from this place I know is not a good fit and don't make good clothes. Okay, now I got this top, which I actually kind of liked. It's a little big, but also it just makes me look big. Like, this is apparently not something that was made for my body shape. It makes my upper body look giant enormous. Definitely do have body dysmorphia. You can watch my I was wrong video about like the whole thing with my fitness competition and how that went down. But I think having my body change so drastically from like being kind of the size I am now when I started to like a very good, like, I would say natural weight for myself, to going to a further extreme of being like very skinny for my show, to then getting back to this kind of starting point from 3 years ago. Like, that has been a mental journey. And so I'm also in this weird place where I respect what my body has done so much for the past year of healing. Like, the fact that this time last year I was still walking in a cane, and like today or yesterday I tried on heels and I could walk in them. Like, I'm so proud of how much my body has healed over the past year. But also, I just feel this like immense amount of resentment about how immobile I've been over the past year and a half, and how much I love weightlifting, and I'm still not quite there to be able to do that again. It's a really weird dynamic, and that's also a mental thing that I'm working through right now. Okay, the last thing in this haul is this cardigan, which is just like a long white cardigan. I like this. I like the shape of it. It has these weird pockets that kind of jut out, so I'm going to return this one, but it's a mental note for me that I actually did like this, and I could see myself wearing this as like an easy thing to throw on over whatever I'm wearing throughout the work day. And so I definitely plan on looking for something similar in the future. But I also want to talk about what the future of all this looks like and kind of come up with a way to address the negative aspects of my habits. I think I'm going to do a shot just showing you everything that's spread out here and why I feel physically overwhelmed right now by the amount of stuff around me. That'll be a break to this. And then I'm going to also, when the next shipment comes in, show you that stuff as well. That's the other thing. Shein stuff stinks, and I am a person who is sensitive to chemicals and biotoxins, and this is not something I should be doing to my health right now. It's just a whole lot of nope, you guys. Ugh. I'll see you during the next box. Okay, so here are the shoes going back to Amazon. And then these are the shorts. These ones are going back. I think I'm going to end up keeping these. The third box has more shorts, so I kind of want to compare the shorts and see which ones I should keep. Here's the stuff I'm not keeping. I'm going to put in there and package up for return. This is the stuff that I am keeping. So just, you know, the shorts, the pants, the blazer, and that top, the sunglasses that I have to keep. That stuff will be returned. The bags I think I'm keeping just because I think I have to. I might see if I can return that one. I'm not super enthused with it. And then here's all the stuff that needs to go back. Like all of this, you guys. This is ridiculous. And then what's in this box as well, I will be returning. So yeah, we still have another box to go, and I'm just really overwhelmed by myself right now, I think. Okay, I have the last box from this shopping haul. So I'm going to go through the things I'm not going to keep, and then I'm going to go through the things I am going to keep because they're in the wash and I just wanted to get everything done. It's gonna be a lot of stuff. I also got two things when I went thrifting last weekend, which was kind of ridiculous because I knew all of this stuff was coming and I still went thrifting. Whatever, gonna let that go. But I'm gonna go through everything that I got that I'm not keeping. And I think this is really gonna show you what I mean by fantasy self, because this stuff makes no sense. Okay, so first off, I'm actually going to start with something I am keeping. This is a hat. It is a sun hat. I plan on spending a lot of time at the pool this summer, so I don't actually regret this one. It's going to be good when I'll probably steam it to get it to look better. I wanted a big floppy hat so that I could protect my face from the sun, so that's good. These boots, however, not so much. I adore them. However, I just know I'm not going to wear them. So they're these moccasin boots. They have a wedge heel, and again, I don't leave my house, so I don't know who I bought these for, because I just don't have anywhere that I would wear them. So even if I like them, and even if I like them as a creative outlet, it's like, is this really adding value to my life, or should I be finding things that both fit that practical need and also serve that creative outlet purpose? Because these I know are just going to sit in my closet and I'll feel guilty for not wearing them. The next thing I think is even more representative of this whole fantasy self thing. I think my problem is really shoes, because I'm not sure when I would wear these. I'm not a stripper, so I'm not sure what the occasion would be. I did try them on. They are very comfortable, so if you're looking for a ginormous platform shoe, I can send you the link. But I don't leave my house. I work from home. I don't have a social life, so I need to figure out better outlets than justifying this creative energy like this, because this is not productive, this is not valuable, this doesn't actually help my financial situation. I'm not going to wear them, so it's not actually going to be a part of that creative outlet. I'm just so tired of doing this. I just want to be better than this. Buying things I know I'm going to return is the antithesis of who I want to be as a person. And I think if I needed these things or wanted these things as a creative outlet and felt like they would be valuable to my life, I wouldn't be so hard on myself about this. I think the problem is that I bought these as a coping mechanism for emotional just struggle I was having a couple weeks ago, rather than it being like a feeling like a conscious, well thought out decision on my part. And I know that it came from that negative place, and that's the problem. That's the root cause of this shopping addiction. Is it's not the end result, because like at the end of the day, we are human beings who need clothing to operate within society. So I will always need to buy clothes, and I don't even mind that it's a creative outlet for me. What I do mind is that it's a compulsive need, and it's my way of dealing with my emotions rather than dealing with my emotions. That's the problem with the way I'm operating currently. Okay, I changed because I did some painting, and then I don't know if that's logical, but let's keep going. All right, speed round, let's go. Okay, so I bought these nude bike shorts to go under dresses. They don't fit, so I'm gonna go ahead and return those. Then I got these shorts, which also don't fit. They're a little too tight, and the pleats in the front aren't even, so that makes my front crotch area look disfigured. I think that might be the word I'm looking for, disfigured. Next is a pair of jean shorts. I like the ones from Amazon better, so I'm gonna return these. Doing this quickly because it hurts. Is this weird set. So this is a pair of shorts, like athletic shorts, and then a top, right? In this electric blue, which is a color I wouldn't normally wear. So I thought I would try it out. Aside from the fact that I'm not sure that I'm at a place with my wardrobe where I should be doing extreme colors, like I've been saying, is like I don't have clothes, and so I need functional clothes. So beyond the fact that I'm just not in a place with my wardrobe that I should be buying like fun colors, like I need a functional wardrobe right now, so I should be focusing on like basics and just sticking to a couple colors so I have stuff that I can put together. So that's number one reason why that's a fantasy purchase. Number two reason is right now I'm at a weird place with my body. I think I mentioned this in the clip from yesterday, so I'm not gonna like hammer home on this, but my body has changed a lot in the last 2 years, and I'm just like grateful to it for healing, but also not in a place where I want to be wearing like super tight things. So fantasy buy. Next is a pair of overalls, which I actually like the idea of overalls, and this kind of confirmed that for me, that I would enjoy wearing these in the summer. But this front part is really narrow, so it makes it look really weird when you put it with a shirt. So I'm not sure how people are wearing overalls if it like comes up in a triangle between your boobs. Like, I don't know what that's trying to achieve. Okay, we're getting into some more fantasy buys here. I got this satin shirt, which is like pretty, and I like that it's shiny, but I feel like especially with the cheaper brands, like the more intricate the design, the cheaper it looks, because it's very rarely ever even. And then also, like, I just don't need a bustier right now. Like, that's not part of my work from home attire needs or like my real life needs. This is the pink pair of those wide leg pants that were in the other video, and these are too small for me. I noticed when I was looking at this that I got the extra large in the beige pants, which were too big, and I got the medium in the pink, which are too small. This brand, Dazzy from Shein, runs small, so you should go up a size, but not 2 sizes. Next is another fantasy buy. I think I am Barbie because this seemed appropriate. I actually really like this shirt, but the darting on the sides here, it's so awkward because it like runs right over your nipples. It just makes you look like you have like super perma nipple. Not sure I'm going for that look. All right, we're into the last of the stuff that I'm not keeping. So the last piece here is this kind of tube top with these pretty bow sleeves. I don't like how structured these bows are. If it was like a tie sleeve, I would have liked it better, but beyond that, it's actually too big for me. Okay, this is the second to last section. This is all of the light colored things that I am keeping because the darks are in the dryer. I know that I'm seeming more excited now, and it's because I'm almost done with this process. And I think it's just this feeling of like relief. I am leaving the mess of everything around me. It's kind of like rejection therapy because I want to feel this pain as much as possible and this discomfort. And I keep thinking to myself, you need to remember what this feels like so that next time you go to this coping mechanism, you can have this moment of like, this sucks, stop doing it. All right, so I got some underpinnings type stuff, some bodysuits. So I got a nude one just to go under things, especially for the summer. Like I keep saying, I didn't have any clothes, so we're kind of going back to basics here. Then there's this top. I got it as a layering piece. I really like really layered looks and a lot of texture in outfits. And I think that's something that I shouldn't be buying into right now. I just need to get the basics so that I can be clothed and then worry about like the artistic expression later. I got a bikini set, so it's a top and 2 bottoms. I also got a different style top a couple of weeks ago, also white, so they'll all go together. I got this top and it has a little matching friend. I was actually kind of surprised by the quality of this. I felt like it was good because it could be like a swim cover up or just a work shirt. And I like how deep the cuffs are. That felt appropriate, like I should be buying that for work. I don't know, I just want to validate myself when I do buy things for good reasons. I don't think that this was the best haul because it is very much a mix of like things I did need justifying the things I didn't need. This is so hard because it's like I can't not have clothes, but I can't buy clothes this way. Like the way I'm buying clothes is wrong, just emotionally. I got a white bodysuit for under things. I also got this from the secondhand shop near me. It's just a linen tank. I thought this would be really great for summer. Another thing is that I feel like since I was sick, I just got stuck in time for like 3 years ago, and my style and like sense of fashion hasn't progressed with the times. And so one thing I really wanted was more pants and more wide leg pants because I know skinny jeans aren't really a thing anymore, and that's all I have. So I was a little disappointed that I didn't actually get more pants. Like that was part of the justification for this and I didn't even do it. Then I got this t-shirt bodysuit just as a nice underpiece. I got this from the secondhand shop. It has this jeweled collar, which I know is very like, I feel like it's 2015. But I think if I either button up at the top and then have it kind of open like a triangle shape over leopard pants could look cool. I think I can make it look current. Oh, and then the last piece here before I get into the darks is this jumpsuit, which I actually see myself wearing a lot this summer. So let's go ahead and get into the darks so we can wrap this video up. It's a lot. Last bit, let's go. Okay, this is gonna be a lot of leopard. So I'm keeping these faux leather shorts. I like faux leather. I also have this now leopard kind of like tube top. It's a little big on me. However, I can sew, so I'm gonna make that a tiny bit tighter. I also got this mesh layering piece for under things so I can live out my goth fantasies. This is a slip dress and the collar is really weird on me and the straps seem kind of wide for my body. However, I know I'm gonna wear that a ton this summer because dresses are just so easy, and that was super comfy. I got another leopard dress. I said there would be a lot of leopard. We're almost done with all the leopard. This is a maxi dress with a very deep V. It's also very long. I'm not worried about getting good wear out of that. Again, it's not the time or place, right? Like this isn't what I need. What I need is like simple basics to get through my workday. And I bought a leopard maxi dress, like someone who goes places. I got this bodysuit. So you probably saw the nude and the white before, but now I have bodysuits for each color I would need. And then the last piece I got was this leopard cardigan. It's quite long. So ultimately, I think I got everything I need to kind of have this layered wardrobe that I want, but also I feel good about the pieces that I'm keeping, that I'm not going too overboard with. I didn't keep a lot of the fantasy pieces. I kept some things that are borderline, like the leopard maxi dress, maybe this cardigan, but I feel like I have what I need now. So moving forward, if I continue to buy things, it's going to be for that creative outlet, and I want to do that more responsibly. Let's do the outro piece, and then, yeah, this is a lot of stuff. Okay, slightly future JC popping in to say one last thing. I keep referencing this emotional distress I was in, and I think that it's not going to be a problem moving forward. Like, I recognize there will always be like emotional hardships in my life, but I don't think that the amount that I've experienced at the beginning of this year is something that's going to repeat anytime soon. So I think that by building my muscles in terms of like denying myself this coping mechanism, I can build them up strong enough for the next time that I do have an emotional crash. And just making sure that I'm doing my mindfulness practices and any other, people might do therapy or meditation or whatever you use to cope with your emotions, or actually like deal with your emotions is probably the better word for it. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in here and throw that little nugget in for you as well. So I've already prepped all of these returns, and my plan is to go to USPS tomorrow and ship them all out, get this out of my closet, out of my life. I'm in a weird place with this because I know I'll still want different things for different life occasions, especially like traveling for work. I just found out we're probably going to be going internationally in this year, and it's probably going to be in the fall, and it's to a country that's cooler in the fall, I believe. So I might want some things for that. I enjoy clothes as a creative outlet. Like, I enjoy feeling like a middle school art teacher with just like weird stuff layered over weird stuff. Like, that is so my vibe. And I think that I've been really missing that as an outlet. I want to give myself grace for that aspect, and I think I can. I think the problem is when I shop to cope, not when I'm shopping as something I need to do or something that I want to do as a creative outlet, but it's when I'm doing this like coping mechanism. There are a few things I can do moving forward to kind of help with this recovery. One is finding better coping mechanisms. I think that if this is what I do when I'm emotionally distressed, like, yes, there's more destructive things I can do. And people were very nice and reached out to me and were like, you're being too hard on yourself. And I think the thing that bothers me the most about this is that I'm using it to cope, not that I'm doing it. I'm not blowing my budget. I'm not going into debt for this right now. I have in the past. I'm not being that irresponsible right now, but I know I have that potential, and I know I've done that before, and I know that this is not something that I should feed into. What I'm going to do is give myself a limited budget every month. I'm actually really good about like house things and beauty things. So for example, I just bought a bunch of stuff to redo the balcony. That was all planned, and I know that I'm going to use that balcony like a crap ton this summer, if not like multiple seasons. So I'm happy to invest that money into a space I know I'm going to use and enjoy and love this summer. And then for like beauty stuff, I really have it like down. Like, I know what I like, and I just rebuy the same things over and over. So I'll just allow myself to continue repurchasing those things. It's just the clothes. That's the only place I have an issue. And I think I'm going to give myself a budget and just allow myself to have that creative outlet, but in a healthier way where it's more planned and intentional. B, I don't want to participate in like this fast fashion cycle anymore, and the returns thing is such a problem for me because I know I can return it. I just buy things I know I'm not actually going to wear. So it's the fantasy items that I'm really trying to restrict, like the boots and the shoes and the satin bustier tops. So I think maybe either saying no fast fashion or only shopping in person. And another great part of that limitation is I can only go to places I can walk to because I don't have a car. So I'm going to take a look at my budget, see what I can afford every month and what I want to allow myself for that creative outlet. And then I might just do check-ins like monthly or quarterly to let you know how things are going. I think there's different things you could do. If you're experiencing this too, you could go through a process of a no buy. Hannah Louise Poston, the person who kind of made me realize I have a shopping addiction because I was watching her content, she did a no buy for an entire year to help with curb her shopping addiction. There are options for people. Therapy would be a good one. I'm sure there's support groups. I know that like on Reddit, there's makeup rehab, which is like you buy way too much makeup and so you need, it's like AA for people who buy a lot of makeup, but I'm sure there's communities out there too that someone could join. I think just knowing that this is a problem, being really intentional around it is kind of my first step, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated as to what I do moving forward. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know if enjoyed the right word is. What? I don't know if enjoyed is the right word, but I hope you got something from this video. If you liked it, go ahead and like it. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear your reactions to this. If you feel like this is a normal amount of things to buy, if you think that this is a negative coping behavior, if you have experienced something similar, and then subscribe if you're interested in seeing more about me and my life and how I deal with chronic illness and my approach to carnivore and how I deal with these little road bumps that come up throughout life. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.